This short video shows how to properly program, connect, and operate Nonin PalmSAT Model 2500 and 2500A pulse oximeters. The PalmSAT 2500 and 2500A oximeter models are designed for portable oxygen saturation and pulse monitoring and are compatible with the full range of pure light sensors from Nonin Medical. Nonin pulse oximeters are designed for use with Nonin sensors only. Do not use these pulse oximeters with other brand sensors. Nonin sensors have an emitter that projects a tuned light wave pattern through the arterial blood, and a detector which receives that light. Changes in the light wave spectrum during pulsation of blood generate a measure of blood oxygenation and pulse rate sent to the pulse oximeter. The 2500 and 2500A models are identical, except the additional ability of the 2500A model to program alarms that indicate when oxygen saturation or pulse rate fall outside of preset ranges. To start, ensure the sensor you are using is compatible with the Nonin PalmSAT oximeter. All Nonin pure light sensor types will work with the PalmSAT oximeter. The PalmSAT oximeter is a good choice for both mobile and non-mobile uses. It is powered by either 4 alkaline AA batteries or a rechargeable battery pack available from Nonin Medical. To replace the batteries, remove the battery cover by pressing the cover latch and sliding the cover off. Remove the used batteries and insert fresh, fully charged AA batteries. Proper battery position is critical for oximeter operation. Note the battery polarity position marked in the case to properly install the batteries. Replace the battery cover so it clicks into place. A rechargeable battery pack may be in place in your Model 2500 oximeter. If so, you can recharge by placing the monitor in the Model 2500C recharger stand from Nonin Medical. Recharging takes about 3 hours when the battery pack has been completely depleted. The charger indicator will remain solid green while charging the battery pack and flash when the battery pack is fully charged. You may leave the oximeter in the stand to maintain a full charge between uses. You may also use the 2500 oximeter while it is charging. Replace the batteries within 30 seconds to retain the clock, date, and alarm settings. It will also retain any stored patient monitoring data. These items may be lost if the unit does not have any power supply for over 30 seconds. If you lose the settings and stored data on the oximeter, you can reprogram the settings using the setup mode described in the 2500-2500A setup video. If the oximeter has been in use and had regular battery changes or recharges, the settings should be retained in the oximeter for its next use. The PalmSAT oximeter will provide about 80 hours of continuous use with 4 fresh batteries, or 40 hours of continuous use with the rechargeable battery pack. Prepare the sensor and place it on the patient prior to connecting it to the oximeter. Proper sensor placement is critical for accurate readings. Follow the instructions for each sensor type to ensure secure, aligned positioning of the sensor on the finger or skin surface. Connect the sensor to the pulse oximeter by inserting the plug with the Nonin logo and arrow pointing to the top of the unit as shown here. The connector should firmly seat in the connector port on the oximeter. Press the on-off button to start the unit. The oximeter will run through a power-up systems check as it turns on. Watch the systems check to ensure all the LED elements and information appears as shown here. If any LED elements do not appear or if any of the displays do not appear as expected, remove the unit from use and return for service or repair. Check the oximeter's time and date settings for accuracy during startup, and reset the oximeter in setup mode if they are not accurate or appear as zeros. All oximeters have a low battery indicator. The indicator will glow amber when the battery pack is low, but the unit will still work. Replace the batteries as soon as possible. When the battery is critically low, the light will blink and the pulse quality display may go red or yellow. Immediately stop using the unit and replace the batteries. If the battery power is too low, settings and stored data might be lost. Remember, replace the batteries within 30 seconds to retain the clock, date, and alarm settings. For the 2500A model, your oximeter has audible and visual alarms that can be set to signal if either oxygen saturation or pulse rate exceed the predetermined ranges. If either of these occurs, the oximeter will sound and a 3-beep, 2-beep audible signal will repeat every 10 seconds. The condition that is out of range will flash. You can silence the audible alarm for 2 minutes by momentarily pressing the on-off button. And you can return the audible alarm by momentarily pressing the on-off button. When oxygen level or pulse rate return to the preset range, the alarm will stop and return to normal monitoring function. Signal loss from the sensor is possible with hand or body movement or disconnection of the cable. Signal can also be reduced by body position or cold conditions too, which may reduce blood flow. The audible alarm will sound a 3-beep alarm every 25 seconds, and a dash will appear between the pulse and oxygen level displays. You can silence and restore the alarm with the press of the on-off button. Check and correct the position of the sensor if it has moved, and recheck the sensor connection to the oximeter. If the hand has been grasping a rail or other object, or it is cold, relax and warm the hand to restore stronger blood flow. Other alarms may occur on the oximeter. You can silence the audible alarm with the on-off button. Immediately notify your clinician or technical support contact. The oximeter will record the time and date of any alarm in its stored data, along with regular oxygen saturation and pulse readings. The restored data is retained for the last 72 hours of use and then records over the older data. Data can be downloaded and analyzed on Nonin Envision software. When you are ready to stop using the oximeter, simply press and hold the on-off button until the unit turns off. Then you can unplug and remove the sensor. Always keep the batteries in the oximeter to retain settings and stored data. With proper use, the Nonin PalmSAT model 2500 or 2500A pulse oximeter will provide consistent, accurate oxygen and pulse rate measurement. You can find additional use information on this and other Nonin products at www.nonin.com. This short video shows how to set up and adjust settings on Nonin PalmSAT model 2500 and 2500A pulse oximeters. On both the 2500 and 2500A models, setup mode is used to set or disable the clock and calendar, clear the oximeter's memory, and memory download. On the 2500A model only, setup is also used to adjust alarm settings. To enter setup mode on the 2500 model, start with the oximeter turned off. Press and hold the on-off button and advance button, and while holding the advance button, then release the on-off button. A series of 3/8 will appear in the pulse rate and SpO2 areas, and the clock time will briefly appear, followed by RCL No. This allows you to retain the memory on the oximeter or clear it. To clear memory, press the advance key until you see Clear Yes. Then press the on-off key to perform that memory function. Delete will appear. Confirm that you want to clear by pressing On-Off again. you will automatically exit Setup Mode. Re-enter Setup Mode and select Clear No to proceed to the rest of the setup options. If you do not clear memory, you will automatically continue to the rest of the setup options. Year, month, day, hour, and minute will appear in that order as you adjust them. Change the value by pressing the Advance button until the desired value appears, and then press On/Off to set that value. The next value will then appear. You can also scroll through values by pressing and holding the Advance button. Once you set the minute value for the clock, you will exit Setup Mode. You can disable the date and clock settings by setting the month at 00. If you confirm that setting, you will immediately exit Setup Mode. Disabling the date and clock can help conserve battery life. For the 2500A model, when you enter Setup, the Recall Alarm Values No option appears first. Memory clear, date and time settings follow after alarm settings. If you clear the custom alarm setting, the oximeter will return to its default settings. Press On/Off to clear the custom alarm settings, or use Advanced to select Yes to retain the custom settings. If you retain the settings, you will automatically exit Setup Mode. If you clear custom alarm settings, you can scroll through and reset all values on the oximeter. O2L is the SpO2 low limit. HH is heart rate high. HL is heart rate low. And O2H is SpO2 high, appearing in that order. You can see the audible alarm setting, which may be high, low, or off. You will then enter the memory, date, and clock settings just like the 2500 model. To download the 72-hour memory from the oximeter, attach the appropriate cable or data collection drive with the 2500 model turned off. Press the Advance and On/Off buttons and release only the On/Off button, just like entering Setup Mode. When the Clear No icon appears on the 2500 model, or the Recall Alarm Setting No appears on the 2500A model, the oximeter memory will begin download. Wait for at least 3.5 minutes for the data to transfer to the computer or data storage drive. With proper use, the Nonin PalmSAT Model 2500 or 2500A pulse oximeter will provide consistent, accurate oxygen saturation and pulse rate measurement. You can find additional use information on this and other Nonin products at www.nonin.com.